What's going on, guys? This is me Don and welcome to the new video tutorial. In this video tutorial I'm going to show you how to create a multi-user login form in C#.NET using SQL Server database and Visual Studio. That means when the end user login is a different role, different form need to be opened, means redirect based on the user role. For example, if the user login is the admin, a different form need to be opened, and when the user login is a normal user, different form need to be opened. So in the process of solving a real world problem, you may need to develop such a system which may need to have a multiple user, that is multi-user login system in your developing application. And when each end user enter their associated username, password and their role, they must need to redirect to the only certain feature that they only need to use. So in C#.NET, this can be done by using combo box. So let's do it. First of all, you need to have a Visual Studio. If you don't have, you can download it and install from visualstudio.com, and then go to File, click on New, click on Project, select the window form application and give the name of your project, login form combo box. Click OK. And then expand this form, drag and drop 3 levels for username, password, and for selecting the user to give the instruction to the user, and then drag and drop to text box in order to accept the user input, and then on combo box to select the different user, and then finally on button. Click this label and change the text of this label to username. You can also increase the font size of this label from here. Go to font and then type the font size you want, and similar process for this label to password, and finally here goes select user type, and this is the name of this text box so that you can remember this name while you are programming. Txt user, here goes txt pass, and change the button name, button text as well. Here goes login, and select this combo box and then go to the property of this combo box and find this item property, and then click on collection so that you can add the item. I'm going to use admin, and then normal user or simply user. Normal user, these are 2 items. Click OK. So we just finished the designing part of our application, and you also need to have a Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. If you don't have, you can download it from Microsoft website, and then open this Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. Go to right click this over database, click on new data, and give the name of your database, and then click OK. Expand this database and just refresh it, and again expand this recently created database. Go over table and right click over that table, click on table, and give the column name as username, and data type should be varchar, and then password varchar, and then user type varchar, and just press Ctrl and S to save this table, give the name of the tables. Again, I'm going to give login. Just expand this table and then right click over this recently created table, click on edit top 200 rows, and here you can give the value. I'm going to give the username as admin, password is admin, and user type is admin. And again, I'm going to give another username admin, password is admin, and then user type to user, and just close this windows. It will save automatically this username, password, and user type. So go back to Visual Studio, click over this server explorer, and then here you can see this is your server. Right click this over data connection, click on add connection, change the data source to SQL server, click OK, and give the name of the server name. My server name is run.pc. Or you can select your server name by clicking this drop down button and select the database that you recently created, CMB login, and then click OK. Now our application is connected to our database. Select this data connection, and then from this property copy the connection string, Ctrl C, and then double click over this login button, and we need to import the namespace. So we are going to write this using system.data.sql client, so that we can write the SQL, so that we can connect our this application to our database. So go back to the designing part of this form, double click this login, and then write the code over here. First of all, we are going to connect our application to the database. So SQL connection con is equal to new SQL connection, and inside these double quotes just paste the connection string that you recently copied. Now we are going to write the SQL command. CMD is equal to new SQL command. Here we are going to write the SQL query. Select all from our table name is login, where username is equal to two single quotes, inside two single quotes, two double quotes, inside two double quotes, two plus sign, and inside two plus sign we are going to access our text box, txt user dot text, in order to take the user input, and password is equal to similar process txt pass dot text, and then we need to connect to our connection, and we are going to use the SQL data adapter, which acts like an adapter between our data and SQL server. SQL data adapter SDA is equal to new SQL data adapter, and we are going to pass the command as a parameter, and then we are going to use the data table. dt is equal to new data table, because in our database there is a table that we create, and we are going to fill this sd. We are going to fill this data adapter sda dot fill by this data table. And here is the thing, when this application is run, let me run this application. Here you can see user enter their username, password, and select their user type, and then click on login. So what we are going to do is, when the user enter their username, password, and select their user role, we need to access only the admin or normal user to the next form. So what we are going to do is, first of all, we are going to write this query, write this line of code. If dt dot rows dot count is greater than 0, it means if there is something written by this query, we are going to do something operation. Else, if the user give input is not match, then we are going to display the message else message box dot show error. So when the user input username and password is matched, we are going to do some operation inside this if statement. So and again, in the database there may be a number of, first of all let me show you, in this table there may be a number of user type and their associated username and password. So what we are going to do is, we are going to write the for loop which read each line of row of our table. This one is first row, second row, and there may be an n number of rows. So for int I is equal to 0, I is less than dt dot rows dot count. It counts the number of row of our database table. And then I plus plus, we need to increment this, and inside this if, what we are going to do is, if the user enter the right username and password, then we are enter in this for loop. And after in this for loop, what this for loop do is, there may be a number of row in our database table, and this for loop check each number of row of our table. And again, what we are going to do is, if dt dot rows, there may be a number of rows, so I am going to pass this variable as an index, and then either you can use 2, or this is the index 0, this is index 1, and this is index 2, or you can use the column name user type dot to string. Everything need to be converted in string in C#, is equal to this selected. I'm going to show you. When the user select this item need to be stored in some variable, and then we are going to compare the database store this user type, and then user selected this user type, user selected this user type. So for this we need to store this value in some variable. So for this what I am going to do is string cmb item value is equal to combo box 1 dot selected item dot toString. And here we are going to pass this variable cmb item. So when the user selected combo box item is equal to this database already stored database user type, then we are going to display the message. Then we are going to display the message box dot show you are logged in as dt dot rows I dash 2. And again, when these username and password match and the user selected user type is match, we are going to open next form. So for editing the form, right click over this solution project and then click on add, click on new item, and then select the window form and then click add, and again repeat this process, select the window form and then click add. So what we are going to do is, if, and then in combo box we can access the combo box index. So combo box 1 dot selected index is equal to 0, means, first of all let me start this project. This is the index 0 and then this is the index 1. So when the user click this admin, we are going to display the different message like this: form 2 f is equal to new form 2. We are going to create this object of this form 2 and then f dot show and then this dot hide, means hide this login window. Else form 3 ff is equal to new form 3 ff dot show and then this dot hide. I have only two username. I have only two users, so I'm going to write this code is if and else. If you have a multiple number of users, then you can write if, and here else if combo box 1 dot selected index is equal to 1, and then else if combo box 1 dot selected index is equal to 2, and at last you can use else statement. So I'm going to explain about this code. What we will do is, first of all, we connect our application to the database, and then we write the SQL query, and then we use the data adapter so that our data is, this data adapter act as an adapter between our SQL server and our data, and then we use the data table because we have the table in our database, and then we fill this data adapter by our table, and then we store the combo box selected item in one variable. And if dt.row.count is greater than 0, means if the user input username and password is matched, then we are going to do this operation. Otherwise, if the username and password that the user provided is not matched, then this message will display. And then, as you can see here, here may be number of row in our database table. So for this, we are going to use the for loop, so that this for loop return the number of the row, and then if there are the number of the row, then we are going to compare the user selected username, I mean user selected user type in the and this user type that we store in our database. And this is match. If these two values is matched, then we are going to display the message you are logging as either admin or either normal user. And again, if the user select the combo box value that is in index 0, then we are going to display this form, and then else we are going to display the another form. So just save it and then run it. So if you enter the wrong password and the admin, the message should display error. But we got some error over here. Invalid update login. Oops. We give the wrong table name, so let me run again. If you enter the wrong username and password and then select the end user, message should display error. And if you enter the correct username and password, your login is admin, and then this form will be displayed. And again, admin and then admin, and then if you select this normal user and then click login, we get some error here. Let me fix it. Oops, I only give this user, and then here I give the item is normal user, so this is not matched and wrong, and nothing is done by our program. So let me run again it. So admin and then if you select this user and then click login, message will display you are logging as a user, and then we need to redirect to the next form, that is form 3. And again, if you type wrong username and password and select any user, message will display error. And if user type admin and then select the admin, message will display you are logging as admin, and then form 2 need to be displayed. So that's it in this video tutorial, guys. If you think this video help you in some extent, share this video with your friends so that they can know about this, and give thumbs up, which really motivates us to make such programming and tech video. And thank you once again for watching this video. Have a good day. Bye bye.